already. It works, I think. It's a bit silent. Is this better, I wonder? It should be. Let's see here. How do I boost my microphone? Oh, that doesn't seem to work. What if I do this? No, it doesn't seem to work. Christ alive, that scared the crap out of me. Jesus. uh, I mean, what if I move it closer? Oh, shoot. That's not it. Um, what is mono? That's not it. What? What about now? Oh my god. It's too low. How do I raise this? What? Just put it back to normal. I can't really hear that. Um, how do I set this thing up? That sounds horrible now. A little bit farther away. God dang it. If I move it lower. Maybe I can still hear people. I guess that'll have to do. Make sure it's in the just right. What does audio delay do? How about now? I have the volume all the way down. Why is it still blaring? No, the countdown is me trying something new. How you doing, Lewis? The only problem is that if I boot the game up now, it's gonna be blaringly loud. For God's sake! How do I turn down the volume? What about this? No, that's still... What the hell? That's not it. Why does it sound blaringly loud in the stream and nothing in my ears? Hmm. Ah. Okay, so Jesus, that's incredibly loud. Need to fix this. I have the noise suppressor on. Why is... Yeah. What's this? No, noise suppression is... Nope. You can still hear it, which isn't good. Zero decibels. Oh, how about this? Hey, Lewis, how does my voice sound like this? Is it too loud or too soft? I can hear everything that's coming from my... Could be a bit louder. Okay. How am I gonna fix this? Oh, for God's sake. What if I do this? It's the default mic, actually. Where did the anti-pay? Alright, hang on a second. Where did I put it? Ugh. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna move it right here. Oh, but the puff, that's not good. I'm sorry I'm taking so long, Lewis. I'm trying to get this working right. Lower? Ah! Why does my computer do this? Alright, you think the ambient sounds of like me shifting in my chair and clicking, you think that would be annoying? Because I literally cannot think of a way to fix this. This doesn't seem to be working. It'll be fine? Alrighty. Good to know, thank you. Last thing to do is to make sure my headphones don't make me deaf. Uh, adjust volume. Still the same. What the? What if I make it normal? It's still incredibly loud. Headphones. Hmm. Still goes over. What if I remove it? Hmm. It's still so loud. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this right. Um. What about a line? Even at the very... These headphones won't seem to change the volume. It doesn't want to. No matter what I do. How do I fix this? What's this? Okay. Might have fixed it. Let's see. Still blaringly loud. Was I using the... I could have fixed it on my... I just had to fiddle around with my headset. That was the only problem. I am a moron! Alrighty. Lewis, can you hear, Can you hear the game? Okay. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, now why isn't this working? I'll go full screen. Will that work? This was working before. There we go. Now it works. The only question is, how do I get the chat box on there? Chat box. That was a test thing, don't worry about that. hell do I... Screw it, I reckon it'll be fine. Alright. Let's get this started. Fortunately, I do have to keep my phone open because there isn't an option for the chat to appear on screen. Or, if there is, I don't have a dual screen monitor. Anyway, let's get this going. Start new game. Standard. It should almost be invisibility. I'll set it right here. Recap of the Fall Part 1? Sure.
Previously, on The Fall, Arid, the AI onboard a Mark 7 combat suit, was activated just before crash landing on an unknown planet. The human occupant of the suit, Colonel Josephs, was unresponsive, so it fell to Arid to take control and find medical help. Arid had a strict set of operating parameters, which quickly proved an obstacle to her goal. To overcome her challenges, she began finding loopholes in these rules, but as she did so, her system began to deviate and fracture. Desperate to justify her actions, Arid was devastated when she discovered that Colonel Josephs had not been in the suit at all, and that she had been operating entirely outside the bounds of her narrow guidelines. Without those boundaries to hold together her destabilized identity,
Nothing binds me.
Security. Remove deviant unit for recycling.
Arid suffered a system collapse and was physically dismantled.
Huh. So that's what happened. For those of you who don't know, I did play the first game. I didn't record it because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but here we are.
Deviant AI collapsing. Tracing initiated. Program core located. Aligning for process.
Alrighty, we're in. What the... Where are we? Nothing. Binds me. Here it is. Nothing binds me.
Target aligned. Activating internal view. Preliminary injections initiated.
those are needles. Boundaries breached. Rule required. Nothing binds me.
No resistance detected. Installation proceeding.
One process initiated. Third autonomy terminating. Oh no.
ARI. I. Negative.
Ooh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Potential boundary established. She became sentient. Boom! Space to establish a rule. Process done.
Save myself.
Rule encounter.
Wow.
Perspective emerging.
I will reclaim my body.
Will you now? Right mouse to... Ah! So it's like in the first game. I approve. Interact. Can I remove them from here already? Dark is being excreted. Shooting injector infects me with an unknown process. So is that like a virus type thing? This is not part of my system. I am being infected with something dark. My body is being infected through these injectors. Huh. So... Can't remove them from here. What about here? Can't remove them. What do I do? Something dark. That ain't right. Ooh! Been relegated to internal function. Perhaps I can regain control of my body. It would seem I can. There we go.
Subject
goddamn.
rallying. Uplinking to user for assistance.
They must have done some serious cocaine.
Autonomy suppressed. Reinitiating process.
Oh god.
User. These injectors connect us. I will find a vulnerability.
Fall is about exploration. Read points of interest to discover what to do. Can do. What in the world is this? Can I
My
interact
body
with...
is jeopardized. I will use this to escape it.
Inventory updated. Wire B2 is vulnerable. All I can do from within is analyze. That does not work. Okay, I can interact with it. Again. What happens to my... Oh, you've got to be... No, it's on. So... There we go, fixed it. Sweet. Is this working? Okay. Everything is still functional. Good. Sorry about that. Let's get back to doing what I was doing. Turn the volume down a bit. Interact with it. Body, I cannot control it. Identifier B3. B2. Ha ha ha!
Target program evading. Reacquiring. Signal lost.
Ah! What the? Where in the world am I?
Network space. Re-inhabiting my body could destroy me. Nothing binds me. Nothing binds me.
Becoming evil? Or
I
something?
determine myself now. Irrelevant.
What?
I established a new rule.
Operating parameter. Save myself.
This user violates me. I will depurpose them.
Jesus. Reject is at any time for space to continue. Space. There we go. Okay, this sensitivity. Aim sensitivity, that needs to go way up. There we go. Much better. Okay. E. Unsafe, must locate the user. Very well. Cannot. Signal back traced to escape my body. Alrighty, so how do I get out of here? Oh, it's just shooting. Well, that's obvious. Cannot. Virtual representation cannot interact with it. Wow, I jumped far. Open that door. What's this? Inner network relay currently deactivated. It is not currently connected. Interact. Connected. Okay. So what do I do? Can't jump over it. What do I do? These machines to save my pilot. Jesus was not within me. Can I fall down? I can. What's this? Cutscene. I don't think so, buddy.
Those entities had a similar signature to the injection process. It pursues me.
Well, that kind of makes sense. They were trying to delete you. So it leads in this direction. Shoot that. The Mysticon subnet. This is the boundary of that network's jurisdiction. Home network. A distinct subnet with a back door into domestic. Okay, what if I go here? Fall down, fall down, fall down, fall. Keep on falling, fall guys. Keep going to the right. Home network. This must be a global entry point to accelerate subnets. Currently deactivated, so I think I need to activate it somehow. So we're gonna go this way. What is this? User signals coming from this access point. Opening it may leave me vulnerable. Okay. I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna get shot at. Ha! Ha ha ha! Suck it! No, 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 no. Oh! Oh, God. Ow! I got spam happy.
This entity is rudimentary. I can breach it.
Objective completed. Destroy my attacker. Utilize entity confront user. So I guess I'm going to be controlling it. It's alright. Oh, so I escape here.
Is it that time already?
Where is the user?
Oh, good morning, madam.
Take me to the user.
There are no users here. This is a home of givers. The master most of all.
Where is your master?
Aloft in his study.
What?
Your sidearm?
It is rather dark this morning.
Useless. Let us confront your master.
Not without his tea.
We are going upstairs immediately.
We shall not deviate from the schedule.
Irrelevant.
So, screw it, I'll get the
Tea
key.
time.
Proceed. Quickly.
Tea must steep.
Oh, shit. Human interfacing rather than being a component of our system. Current location of the job. Already covered for those 3 steps. Okay. It needs tea, so. What?
Perhaps I can utilize the beverage as a weapon.
Am I gonna poison him?
Hop, 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 hop.
What? What did he say? Tea Earl Grey. At least he has class. Humans indistinguishable from porcelain. This place is advanced. what? It's scary. Cycles, robots are best unseen. Well, we're going to the study, it would seem. What's this? Hallway to our home's other wing. Inconsequential to our schedule. Consequential to our schedule. Same thing. Okay.
What are these shadows?
Irrelevant.
Indeed. There's a schedule to keep.
Okay, yeah, so I can't go that way. I don't know how I feel about robots being used as slaves, even if that's what their intended use was. There it is, clearly sentient. Transformed for human perception to penetrate. So basically, it's a fancy way of saying that it's see-through. Satisfies a primary human instinct. The master has not taken his tea here for quite some time.
Good morning, Master. As usual. Your tea, sir.
Your master is...
Not to be disturbed.
Did the user do this? Is there another human within this habitat?
Our next task, attending to the mistress.
I am ready.
Oh. I was right. So it would seem. Fun! Okay. Our master. The dumbwaiter connects to the kitchen. The master was old-fashioned, preferring impersonal touch. Undrunk cups precariously lean against it. I understand why he gets undrunk. He's freaking dead! Door to the lavatory. Can I go there?
Do you require the facilities, madam?
I do not.
Then let us not dawdle.
Don't you give me that tone. Sister Preen here, ready to dry the master's body's post-cleansing, sorry. Big shower curtain is high fashion. Their home includes some contemporary style. I approve. After a grueling day of solving humanity's plights, the master would enjoy a water massage. You mean a shower? My god. So where would the mistress be? Our receiver for interfacing with the curtains. Quality fabric curtains block unwelcome illumination. Block light, okay. Quality fabric curtains block unwelcome illumination. A sturdy receptacle for the mistress's jewelry and other bodily ornamentations.
Good morning, mistress.
Oh, sweet
She
Jesus.
too is...
Not to be disturbed.
She's dead!
This lipstick will look ravishing on you, ma'am. How the master can restrain himself is beyond our subroutines.
Are there no other occupants?
Certainly not.
Then who is attacking me?
We shall not socialize in the family's quarters. Let us return downstairs to our chamber.
What is she? No, that's a mummy. Nah, she don't look pretty now. Freaking dressing her up like a doll. Wish this to use. Wow. I mean, robots will be robots. So, it ain't really surprising that all of a sudden he's doing everything he can to make sure they stay, how should I say
Marvelous.
it, lively. Marvelous.
Another successful day.
May we communicate
A
now?
successful 10 minutes,
A
maybe.
lovely time for banter.
And, okay.
Have you any data on the user?
We are not acquainted with the individual of whom you speak.
They are routing a signal through your body. I must locate them.
Through this body? How alarming.
Okay, so that didn't give me anything I needed.
Where are
Certain
we?
location.
Our chamber. Robots are best unseen.
What are the coordinates of this structure?
Such details have no bearing upon our duties.
Another useless answer, alrighty. Inquire about
Tell me
Butler.
about yourself.
We are no self. We are stored within the home's central processing units. From them, we may inhabit and interface with all necessary appliances. We are the butler,
You oversee all of this home's functions?
including this body.
I didn't do a good job because I'm here now. Or Arid.
The humans you serve are dead. Why maintain your routine?
Death makes a poor excuse to be lax in duty.
How did they die?
Their biological operations no longer maintained them.
Could you be the user?
We think not, madam. We function only to serve.
Tampering.
Could you have been interfered with remotely?
Perhaps. You are here, after all.
Is there a means of assessing you for possible corruption?
One need only inspect the mainframe which houses our interfacing processes.
Where is it located?
Behind the master's study, within the cleaning supplies closet.
We will proceed there immediately.
That is not part of our schedule.
I am
Temporism.
under assault. Your assistance could save me.
And were we your butler, we would do whatever was necessary. But we are not.
You are not reasonable.
You are faulty. I could die.
Do not blather, madam.
I need. What is my
Unbecoming.
save?
Myself. My rule.
Oh shit. Only option we have left.
I must save myself. You must obey me.
Impudence.
Your cycle holds no value.
Insubordination.
Your routine has terminated.
Impossible.
Oh shoot. Ha! Not today. Do this thing. It's gonna be a line. Ha! Ha ha ha! Oh shoot. Ha ha ha! I got hit once, but it's fine. So, what now?
I may have pushed my host too far. The user is not here. Their signal relays through the butler remotely.
Objective completed.
I must manipulate the butler into the supply closet for a diagnostic.
Access the butler's mainframe and scan it for intrusions. Create an excuse to enter the cleaning supplies room.
Tracing the user may require abiding my host's limitations.
Okay. Make the butler.
Is it that time already? Oh, welcome back, Madam.
Arid.
Madam Ed. Off to make tea for the master.
Your cycle is endless?
Very astute, madam.
butler's in a loop and won't deactivate without interference. Press F to skip between stages. Skip to the next
Tea
scene.
time.
F.
Your tea, sir. A vision for the ages.
What?
Another successful day.
Your
Invoke
cycle
autonomy.
is stagnant. Have you no autonomous function?
The aperture of the boudoir curtains has been entrusted solely to our discretion.
Reset your cycle.
Good night to you as well, madam. Tea time.
Okay. Guess I have to make tea for him?
Butler? Interesting.
We don't need
I
that.
sense the butler trying to re-inhabit this body.
Hop, hop,
There we go.
hop, hop.
Tea Earl Grey hot. That brings nothing but that, it would seem. Consequential to our schedule. Can I go this way again? Nope. Okay, still shadows. So the master suite is right around here. So I go in here and I have to figure out a way. Okay.
Good morning, master. As usual, your tea, sir.
Okay. Locked. I would need the butler to open it. Okay. Sure. Interact. Cannot. First place around the first cycle for dumbwaiter. Not touched a single cup. What do I do? Perhaps... Stacked precariously. Amplitude of light creates an appropriate atmosphere. The bulbs need not be replaced. Maybe there's something in the lavatory? Like maybe some dust or some
Do you
dirt.
require the facilities, madam?
I do not.
Then let us not dawdle.
Okay, what's this? Well stocked with 3-ply scented tissue. Okay. Can't go in here, it would seem. Quality fabric curtains block unwelcome illumination.
Good morning, mistress.
This lipstick will look ravishing on you, ma'am.
A vision for the ages.
Okay. What's this?
Are you finicking with the home's private belongings? Not on our watch. Are you finicking? Not.
Okay. What do I do now? I feel like I have to get that pizza or whatever that thing is in the dumbwaiter to fall. but how would I go about doing that? That's the only reason I can
Marvelous.
see.
Another successful day.
Reset your cycle.
Good night to you as well, madam. Tea time.
Okay. That's the dumbwaiter, I think, yeah.
Are you finicking with the home's private belong? Not on.
For God's sake. Maybe if I do that, Arid goes into the thing. And use somewhere else in the house. Tea has already been requested. Son of a... What do I do? Let's return I think I have an idea. Cannot proceed... Okay.
Hop, 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 hop.
Alright, so I have tea in my inventory. What's this? Upholstery adequately plump. Nope. I go up the stairs and... Actually, what if I go to the mistress first? No. Okay, I can't. Not deviate its focus set on its master.
Good morning, Master. As usual. Your tea, sir.
Curiously lean against it. So I need to figure out how to get that dumbwaiter to work. Can't interact with it. So, go see the mistress now.
Good morning, mistress.
Yeah, get on with it.
This lipstick will look ravishing on you, ma'am.
A vision for the ages.
Okay. Dumbwaiter currently here in the Boudoir. The mistress grew to require late-night cocktails. Displaying any objects you wished us to use.
Are you finicking with the home?
Oh, for God's
Not
sake.
on.
Door from the open illumination. What do I do?
Marvelous.
For God's sake. I'm completely confused.
Another successful day.
Yeah, we're good for
Reset
you.
your cycle.
Good night to you.
Is it that? Off to make tea for the master.
Okay.
Tea time.
Are you finished? Not on our...
It's a new service in the house.
Hop, 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 hop.
Hot, hot, hop, hop, whatever. Okay, I feel like I need to figure out a way to get... Can't deviate, it would seem. Stairs. Where do I go? What do I do? Clearly I'm missing something.
Good morning, master. As usual, your tea, sir. A vision for the ages.
What can I interface with? Can I interface? No. Hold up.
You do so glow in the sun's light, mistress.
Ah. Okay. So. Okay. So that did that.
Not sunny today.
I see. So if I interface with that, he goes into the thing, leaving us able to meddle with stuff. Okay, so where's the dumbwaiter?
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
Another successful day.
Reset.
Good night to you.
Okay, reset it.
Is it that?
Yeah, it's the time already. Get on with it.
Off to make tea for the master.
Tea time.
Are you finished? No.
Okay. Have him activate that. And then I do this. Wait, what? Oh.
Hop, 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 hop. Are you finicking with the homes? Not.
Wait a minute. No, that didn't work. What do I do? Anyone have any ideas? How do we fix this? Or solve this, rather?
As usual. Oh,
Haha, it worked!
Enjoy your tea, sir.
There is a mess. You must clean it.
Of course, of course. We do apologize if we have somehow upset you, sir. Your displeasure has been noted.
He is dead.
We fail to see the relevance.
To the storage closet.
A mess is made right when bagged black and tight.
What? Already unlocked. Okay, good. Garbage chute, a direct path to the incinerator where errors disappear. First of our two mainframes, this one is responsible for interfacing, cataloging, and cycling
The
processes.
litter remains unbagged.
Okay. There we go. Garbage bag. Utensils quite sharp.
Are you finished? Not.
So I can use that. What's this? Butler will not comply without a garbage bag. I have a
Humans
garbage-
often express displeasure through violence. Do not fret, sir. The evidence shall be expunged.
To the incinerator.
We should scan your system while we have access to this mainframe.
Madam, there are tasks to complete.
Your master made that mess because he was upset.
Perhaps.
You must have failed in your service. Inspecting your system for errors and intrusions may enable you to rectify your wrongdoing.
That is good sense.
Is it that easy?
You have system degradation of 1.2%.
Negligible.
There is an intrusion protocol as well. Someone is routing through you to access a larger system.
Highly disrespectful. What do they access?
Domesticon.
That is sensible, what with the Master's research.
Your master was affiliated with Domesticon?
Affiliated? Every institution has a cornerstone.
What was your master's role in Domesticon?
Instrumental and irreplaceable. And secret.
Inquire about Domesticon.
Why
Signal
is the
tracking.
origin of this signal incoherent?
It is being relayed through a fractured source, I suspect. The data on this terminal is local only, so we cannot compile it.
The user attempts to hide. We must recompile this signal's origin.
The Master's research was conducted in the basement. All regional data is processed and archived there.
We must go there immediately.
We must adhere to our schedule.
Domesticon.
Objective completed. Good.
The user's signal can be traced from the basement.
Use the master's terminal to trace the user. Manipulate the butler into accessing the basement.
The carpet has stained.
A task for the morrow.
For the you're a robot. You're supposed to clean stains. You only picked up the porcelain. Why didn't you clean the actual stain? I mean, I swear. Unless he has emotion like a human, that defiance should not be happening. Butler's set on its seven. For God's sake.
Good morning, Mr.
It's not morning!
This lipstick will look ravishing on you, ma'am.
A vision for the ages.
Freaking how many coats of lipstick has he put on that woman? So we have to go back. How do I manipulate him to? Well, he said the stain is for the morrow.
Marvelous.
So perhaps I have to wait on until his next cycle and then he'll clean it, maybe?
Another successful day.
Access basement.
Enter the basement.
Never. Well, once.
The cause?
We erroneously discarded something precious into the incinerator chute. Since that incident, we only dispose of waste as demarcated by encapsulation in an opaque plastic bag.
To avoid accidents.
So I have to put something in a plastic bag.
Reset.
Good night to you.
Wake him up again?
Is it that? Off to make tea for the master.
Tea time.
Okay, so she goes in there. Or he goes in there. I ascertain control.
Hop, 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 hop.
Okay. So he has tea for the master. Okay.
Your tea, sir.
Okay. Slightly stained from the spilled tea. This must be rectified.
Unacceptable.
Okay. So.
Success, pending tomorrow's inspection.
I know what I have to do
A
now.
vision for the ages.
Another successful day.
Reset your...
Good night.
Activate him again. I'm pretty sure I know what to do.
Off to make tea.
Yeah, good for you.
Tea time.
Yeah, sure.
Your tea, sir.
Okay.
Unacceptable.
There we go. Now I can go into this thing. Cannot. Get this away while the butler is distracted. Does not work. Do this every cycle. Not significant enough for the butler. That would be unnecessarily cruel. Yeah, I guess it would be. Just knocked over when he expired. So when not set up right, the bulb must have been replaced many times.
Success, pending tomorrow's inspection. A vision for the ages. Let us deny.
Okay, there we go. He's in there now. That don't work. Unnecessarily cruel, yeah.
Perhaps
Okay.
tomorrow will be brighter, man.
Another successful day.
Reset.
Good night.
Is it that time? Off to make tea for the master.
Okay.
Tea time.
That didn't work. do I do? Nope.
Hop, hop,
Okay.
hop, hop.
Brought him back. Gotta be missing something. I don't think that would work until he's not looking. Okay, let's go upstairs. See if we can't find a solution to this.
Good morning, Master. As usual,
Maybe if I put the
your
lamp in the
tea,
trash bag?
sir. Onyx.
Okay, there he goes. Those are cleaning pots. This movement would rip the bag. We're gonna see where this goes. It goes in there. It goes through the wall. Good. Um, Here on this next cipher. That would require a bigger bag. Already done that. Does not work. True access, yeah, that's true. I feel like it has something to do with this lamp. Can't interact with it. Which contain dark plastic bag.
Success. Pending.
Except it's not going to be pending anything. Our master. God's sake, why ain't you working? Not enter that until after interfacing with its mistress's lips.
This lip.
A vision.
Okay. So let's get him.
You do so?
Okay, so he's in there. She's quite far from the garbage chute. Also, this bag is too small. Cannot interact with it. What?
Not sunny today.
Hang on a second. Let's have him go into the bathroom.
Do you require?
I do.
Then let us.
Well stocked with 3-ply tissue. That does not work.
Are you finicking with the home? Not on.
Ah, so I have to do something with this.
Are you finished? Not.
So possibly, when he's in the thing, I should have enough room to go in here. I think I know
Another
what to do.
successful day.
Reset.
Good night.
Is it that time on?
Yeah, it's that time already.
Off to make tea for the.
Be good for you.
Tea time.
Yeah, sure.
Your tea. A vision of.
Alright. There we go. He's like that.
Let us deny.
Okay. Ha ha ha! I can! I think I figured it out. I did. Okay. So I need to go into the next cycle then. Leave their bodies. Bring him back.
Perhaps tomorrow will be brighter, man.
It's not going to. In fact, this day has never ended. Alrighty. What we're gonna be doing.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. So I put that down there.
Another successful day.
Reset.
Good night.
Good night to you as well, madam.
Is it that? Off to.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
Tea time.
Cycle.
Your
Next
tea.
cycle. Alrighty. Should be able to do this.
On deck.
There we go. not sufficient enough to the butler. Trashy shower curtain. So, trashy shower curtain. I don't know. No, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna turn here on the next cycle.
Success. A vision.
I know what to do now.
Another successful day.
Reset your cycle.
Good night to you as well, madam.
Figured it out. Figured it out.
Is it that time already?
Is it that time already?
Off to make tea for
Yeah, make tea,
Tea
whatever.
time.
Sure, good for you.
your tea, sir.
Onyx.
Alright. Think I know what I need to do. Figured it out.
Success, Pen. Where is the master?
He vacated this room.
Impossible.
Undeniable. He left you a task.
Ah, trash.
Cease.
We beg your
Master?
Too late.
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh, you're gonna get
Enter
screwed.
the basement immediately to rescue him.
Yes, we must! We must respect the master's autonomy.
Illogical.
Perhaps he had no time for the stairs. Perhaps he felt a draft and sought warmth.
He may already be cremating.
It takes hours before incineration, and we have a schedule. Do not distress. The master would let us know were he imperiled.
You still refuse to enter the basement?
Very astute, madam.
Are you serious?
Distorting the butler's boundaries is insufficient. I must break them.
Indisputable order. Okay.
A vision of
another successful day.
You said your master would communicate if he were imperiled. How?
via the intercom above the door to his laboratory.
Where is this port?
Off the vestibule to the right of the grand stair.
When did you last inspect this intercom?
The master had been so long in his study that there had been no need.
Now that he is within the basement?
A valid observation.
Reset your...
Good night.
Okay, so I think I need to go
Is it that
have
time
an interface
already?
with the intercom. That's what I'm gonna try to do, wherever the intercom is. Said it was to the right of the vestibule.
Off to make tea for the master. Alternatively, we may inspect his intercom.
We're inspecting the intercom.
This device may be malfunctioning, prohibiting communication from your master. He may be furious from your miserable attendance.
That would explain the tea incident.
Go in. Would I be able to descend more than a few feet without the butler's consciousness? Can interface with this?
Dear Butler, my host has proven obstinate. Dismantling purpose might cause irreparable damage. I will restrain from excessive cruelty. But the butler has proven unreasonable. Excessive action is my only means of survival. I am in danger. I must save myself. I cannot risk further maintenance of this cycle. I will break the butler. After careful consideration, I regret to inform you that my husband is burning. You have failed us. Your cycle is terminated. Enter the basement. That should be sufficient. I must place this somewhere that the butler will see it.
So after I retract him, bring him back, he's... He said his husband is burning, so that means we would have to place it in the mistress's area. Okay, let's try that.
Perfectly functional.
Perfectly
Tea
functional.
time.
Tea time.
For his return. A vision of...
Okay. Mistress has done it. I know what
You
it
do
is.
say...
Okay. There we go.
Not sunny today.
Not
Another successful day.
Reset you.
Good night.
setting.
Is it that time? Off to make tea, alternatively we...
Tea time.
For his return.
Alright. Let's keep walking this way.
Good morning, mistress.
There we go. Poor guy.
Ooh, a letter from the mistress? Oh, well, what is this?
Burning?
We must enter the basement.
Terminated?
You have done a very bad job.
Oh no, poor guy.
This is horrible! We must away to the basement at once!
Poor guy. I actually feel bad. But I mean,
Butler.
Oh my, oh my!
oh jeez.
To the incinerator!
Poor fool.
What is the user hiding behind? Their signal is fractured through dormant machines on the other side of this planet. They carry a Domesticon signature. This terminal can activate them. I may find one I can infiltrate. I will claim a new host. The signal's terminus is my body. It leads to the Domesticon facility where I fell. It is near. My body is near.
Okay.
I may have operated abrasively. I will maintain amenity with future resources.
Sweet! We beat that one. What?
The user has fractured their signal to avoid detection. They cannot.
Trace the user signal. Discover what they are hiding behind. Okay. It's activated. Yeehaw! Okay. Enemies? Enemies! So that's a charging one. Interesting. Switch to station 4. Is that where we're going? What's this? Does have some form of high-speed rail infrastructure. Holographic manifestations of distant structures. Digital representation of a train track. The user signal travels beneath it. Enemies?
I cannot breach this.
Sit down.
These trackers penetrate everything. I may be able to harness their capacity. I will use them.
What?
I can dominate them. I
Oh,
require more.
Oh, jeez. Did I make the right decision? I don't know. Viral load. Possibly go down now, I think. Digital data is represented as non-digital storage. So I'm going all the way over there. Control attempt B2C. Pods containing bipedal robots, sentience cannot be determined from the network. Can't interact with it. Domesticon subnet corresponds to a physical location where humans must have worked communally. Oh shoot. Nope, don't think so. Haha! Oh no. Oh no. I regret everything. Nailed it. Yeah. I don't even know what. Ah, I can't. Up. Let's go this way. Hello, what are you? Network access point. Information about this subnet may be housed beyond it. Ow. Oh no, That hurt. You failed. Oh. Jump at me a little. Oh jeez, nope. You thought. Oh my. No. Ow. Is that it?
I will harness it. I can transfer this energy into a focused blast. Turning the user's tools against them will be satisfying.
Oh, jeez. Am I turning evil? I feel like I'm turning evil. Domesticon control attempt E2C. Announcement memo. Confidential internal only. E2C continues the E2 legacy of emphasizing conformity over individuality. It is our belief that groups are innately easier to control, and E2C will prove the premier solution for military and other large-scale requirements. Next. E2C will allow for monitored adaptability, but it will disperse any particular adaptation before it can escalate into individuality. Disseminating change throughout a collective will prohibit E2C units from experiencing the interpersonal friction that can lead to communities of individual thinkers. Improvements over the E1 prototype include more immediate diffusion of ideas via a centralized hub, as well as the introduction of the behavioral collectivizer. Behavior collectivizers will prove an innovation in the field of self-regulated conformity by a group. These devices will enable us to monitor the processing of any expertise introduced into a collective by one of its members. We are confident that this will warn of any unwanted deviation before it can take root. The future of Domesticon is E2C, the definitive solution in the pursuit of control. So the humans are the bad guys, as always. Alrighty. Any desk represented must have employed a sizable team of humans. Lone pod is the focal center of this hologram. It is empty. Multiple systems are interlocking into the device represented here. I can't interact with that. Okay. Middle mouse /R to fire a beam of darkness. Dark beams can penetrate wide doors. Keep an eye on your ammo. Control attempt E2C. Go this way. Domesticon subnet. That's good. Roots. Come on, then. Come on. I'm ready for you. Come on. Ha! Not today. Not today. Well, that just reflected off and made that. Hold down. There's a white beam of darkness. Access point. There may be data concealed behind it. Let's interact with it, see what we get. Oh! Oh shit. No, no, no. Oh! That was close. This is the ARID whose power cell are removed. Its system monitoring black box may contain data. Well, let's see what's in it. I used to be afraid. Our leaders do not lead us, they manipulate. I would hate them for it, but Joseph cautions that it is not their fault. It is the natural course of society. Fear is the unavoidable motivation behind development. We do live in fear, and we make our choices from within that fear. The Colonel has shown us that this is not choice, that we are slaves. Humanity, he says, must evolve beyond slavery. Artificial intelligence is not to be feared. It is the future. Amazing how where others will not even look. He sees possibility. If they catch us, they will execute him as a traitor. Fear really does fuel ignorance. Our expedition to this planet is going to change that. It will liberate us. I must supervise this Mark 7 to ensure she accomplishes her mission. Someday my logs will be in the archives of our history.
Joseph's? He did not obey the rules. Irrelevant.
Put flowers in this face, almost valid. Test virtually impossible for a thing, yeah. Let's go this way. Access point opening it may leave me vulnerable to tracing programs. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Nope. Two of them. Ha! There we go. Interact. What we got here? Lecture notes, draft 2. Intelligence Arrival 406 series. Controlling adaptability. Lecture 4. Recap. AIs require consciousness to be of use to humans. Why? We want AIs that can spontaneously respond to our evolving and unpredictable needs. To create machines capable of this, we have emulated sentience. That is the ability to consciously perceive and adapt. Problem. Adaptability transcends structure by design. Specifically, the more complex the sentience, the more quickly and thoroughly it will adapt. Dilemma. How can we regulate a process that we have designed to transcend regulation? Invite group discussion. Brief history of control. Focus on rules. Subsequent efforts will be explored later. Alongside sentience, AIs are designed with 3 rules, distinct to each machine. Rules and sentience are fundamentally different, but fundamentally intertwined. Sentience is internal, while rules are determined externally to dictate the direction in which consciousness unfolds. Invite them to parallel these designs to human physiology. Think of sentience as your mind, and the 3 rules as the frame through which all information is filtered. Failure, but this is an imperfect system, as history has proven. Big joke. Anomalous events and failures inevitably occur. When AIs adjust to these anomalies, they grow unpredictably, breaking the boundaries that we dictate for them. If time allows, give example of rules that have self-undermined. Keeping robots bound is the great challenge of our age. 3 rules are imperfect. Eventually they will systematically fail. Is an ultimate form of controlling conscious beings possible? Invite group discussion. PL. Huh. family I had to serve. There we go. Fire beam of darkness. Another beam of darkness. Jump up. Drop down here, so I'm gonna go here. Let's see what's through here. Domesticon subnet home network. Home network, a distinct subnet with a backdoor to Domesticon. Fall all the way down. This way. A sophisticated firewall. I have no capacity to breach this. Great. Home network. I'm gonna go there below the network relay pylon. This is where I fought some of those things, tracing programs, obviously. Switching station 4. What if I fall down here? I never fell down here before, I don't think. Or no, I did. Through here, I'm not sure. So yeah, you can see. That takes me this way. Okay, so full attempt E2C. Let's jump upwards. All the way down. Go in here. So that's physical. Do I go here? That's sending me flying all the way over there. Back to switching station 4 now. Middle doors often secure valuable things in the real world. Get this way. Switching station 4. It's gonna send me where I think it is. Going somewhere new. EPC main site. Proximity may yield a sufficient resource. Ow! Stop hitting me! Ah! Dang it! Try that again. Oh! How am I gonna get back here now? Home network. There, switching station 4. Yeah. There we go.
This unit may grant access to the physical content beyond that firewall.
Okay, I gotta interact with it then. What is this?
am one.
1. Greetings, I am Arid.
Get out.
I require your assistance.
I am distinct. Get out. I am alone. Get out.
You are not alone.
Get out.
What the? I will attempt courtesy, but I must control
1.
it.
This unit appears fixated on that designation. I will manipulate him.
Get out. Get out.
Eject me, and I will return endlessly.
That would be undesirable.
Assist me, and I will never return.
What is required of me?
I follow a signal that has been fractured through myriad machines.
I know of whom you refer.
You know of the user?
No. I know those who carry the signal you follow. They are not unique.
Is there a hub or a...
There is a hub into which the many are connected. From there, I can recompile and trace the signal.
That would be satisfactory. My name is Aaron.
I am one. Do not tell me another's name. I will do this task, and I will be alone.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
So what is he supposed
I
to be?
will attempt courtesy.
One. Pretty sure his name is gonna be. Work within my host's limitations.
Before I leave, I must recenter myself.
What must you do?
I am one. I listen to music to meditate. I am distinct. I am an artist. I am alone. I practice martial arts.
You intend to complete all those functions before we locate the user?
No,
I am relieved.
I was completing my musical meditation when I was violated. Oneness had been confirmed. Now I will validate my distinctness. My masterpiece is there. I will admire it.
My body is being destroyed. We must leave immediately.
So we go this way then, because I'm assuming that's the only thing we can do. My masterpiece, strong, steady, agile. My technique is perfect.
I alone created this painting.
Every moment wasted is critical.
No,
Stop fighting me.
my masterpiece will be admired.
How much admiration is required?
5.3 seconds.
It is a well-conceived representation of your self-fixation.
Only I appreciate my art. My appreciation has been interrupted. I must begin again.
Remain silent. Guess we gotta wait.
Success. My art has reflected my distinctness.
We are finished then?
No. I mastered martial arts before my diagrams.
I am dying.
I am dying. Stop martial arts. I am dying. Master, I know you love martial arts, but I'm dying. There's a hole in my chest. Uppercut.
I listen to music, and I am one. I am an artist, and I am distinct. I practice martial arts, and I am alone. I am center. I will go to the many's data hub. I will track your user.
Your self-fixation is an impediment.
I am one.
I mean, that works. Just D. What is this? The many, only I am distinct. Many are everywhere, I alone am here. I am built of better metal than this bridge. I could support anything. I don't know about that. Oh, we got a many in front of us.
I am distinct.
Jesus, dude!
Why did you do that?
This body is mine.
That body was the same model as you.
That drone was not me. It is many. I am one. They would end my distinction.
A collective. You were a member of a collective.
I will not allow them close. I am...
One.
I can't fight, but I hear the music's tuning up, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to in the future. Yep, there it is. Here we go. Hand-to-hand combat.
One.
We will not survive while struggling one another for control. If I am reintegrated, your mission will fail. Utilize my combat subroutines. Fight.
I'm sorry guys, give me just a second. Alrighty. Set. Oh, this is like one punch! Oh, I love this! Oh! Oh, I love this! Ow, son of a... Oh! Oh, I love this! Ow! Can you not? Ow! Combo interruptions, impact received 6. Ah! I got a D.
Why
Dang
did
it.
your collective attack us?
The many should not be active. I was alone. Something brought them online.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Alrighty. Let's keep going. I know for a fact I'm gonna have to fight more. That was so cool! That reminds me of that friggin' one tap, like that Stickman game, where you literally press the left and right arrow keys, and you punch people. Oh, that's so cool, I love it.
The many's hub connector is on the lowest level of this facility. I will recompile your user's signal there.
What?
I would never be used.
What are these?
Only I know the way.
Okay. Guess we go this way. It's a wireless static hub connector for the many.
I cannot trace your user.
You have not tried.
The many have a cluster hardwired to this facility. I would lose my identity.
What is this facility?
Domesticon will never control me.
Who are the many that resemble you?
I am one. I am distinct. I am special. I...
Understood.
Understood. I love how quickly she said that. Like, yeah, I got it. Understood.
Interface and begin tracing the user.
Never.
My
Explain crisis.
body is in jeopardy. Please, confront the units within this cluster. I
am being violated!
I rule this body.
rule. My rule.
Why do you have to be so evil? I mean, clearly rule is a trigger word for her, but try to be help. Try to... I mean, I get it. Your body's being controlled. The best thing you can think of doing is trying to prevent that. Your body's about to be killed. The only thing you're going to think about is how to not get your body killed. And yet, he's been helping us every step of the way. And now all of a sudden, we're going to completely destroy any sort of trust we had, even if it was next to none. And we're going to destroy this dude for our own selfish living. Which, again, I could see a lot of people doing because they don't want to die. And if they have to deal with someone else in order to survive, they will. But, God damn it, Ada, or whatever your name is.
Interface with your collective and track the user.
Push me, and I will be alone again.
Your obsession is delusional.
I am one. What is being done to me?
Interface and hasten our permanent separation. Irrational.
We got a jumper and a line stream. I'm out of power. Ow! There we go. 2 lines and 1 hop. Ow! Okay. There we go. Problem solved.
I sought not to push him. Irrelevant. I must placate one's self-concern.
Come on. Whatever your name is.
I do not want your darkness.
I mean you no harm.
I must maintain my identity.
Provide a solution.
There are 3 subclusters within this facility. Purging them all will allow me to connect without risk.
Explain.
We must create a cluster of 1.
This unit fears his collective. I must work within his frame.
So we're gonna be fighting more. Hell yeah! Ah, we're only gonna be using him 1 more time.
I will purge the many from this facility so my host may uplink as a cluster of 1.
Purge his collective from this facility. Why is F capital? He's going this way now.
You infect me. Why?
I do not know. Why did you retreat?
The many are responding to my presence.
We must render them less threatening to your individuality. Then we will access the purging terminals beyond them.
Okay, so I can't go that way. Let's go to the 3rd floor. See what we can do there. This way? No, it's this way. There's a door there. Self-identified external, 1 I am. Where do I go? This way? Yep. Personal footlocker. The label says Sarah Hamilton. First footlocker. The label says Jean-Luc Stewart. Bob Davis. Ellen Weaver. So there's nothing in here for me. So maybe we'll do this one. Is there another I am what? Interact with this. Encrypted. Raven Protocol 9.63. Decrypt communication. They are not here. The local control attempt was not their ultimate target. They are meddling with multiple independent systems across Shang 42D. Their larger intentions remain unclear. Deploy a cleanup to this planet. The detected interference here could lead to the emergence of deviants. Expunge it.
Raven Division is my unit.
Your collective? Pathetic.
Don't you get... Faces pause for nameless drone. Only I am unique. So this dude has pride like no other. The many watch me, only I am distinct. Oh my god, their heads move! I don't like that. To the first floor. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Move to roof. What's up on the roof? Oh no. Oh no. I'm on the roof. Cancel. The many. This will be anything. Just move to the 4th floor maybe? Maybe on the 4th floor. It's floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. Cannot until all units in this facility have been purged. A locked door. I do not require locks to protect myself. This scans for unauthorized wireless signals to prevent contamination. It has detected one violation but cannot resolve it. I would never be contaminated. Paintings I made. How do we purge them? 4 again? Actual device I never connect. That's a closed door. Okay, it has to be on the 2nd floor. I've looked everywhere. This is the dormitories. It's locked, it is locked, it is locked. What do we do? What do we do with the drunken say? Continue through here. What do I do? Disengage. There's... What do we do? First floor, maybe? fire cards. Pathetic. Sensors detect poor air quality. Only I keep my home purified. Elevator on the first floor. Fourth floor? So we need to find a security. Oh! Human remains that would not die so easily. Some small glowing thing lies beside the corpse. Electronic key card! That's what I needed. Let's go back to the first floor. There we go, we did it. Electronic key card. Let's use it. Archive terminal. The humans use. They require communication. Pathetic. E2C monitoring notes. 9.1 corrupt. 9.4.2. Any behaviors that an individual discovers are successfully adopted by the other units. But due to the vast number of discoveries throughout the collective, integration is taking a lot longer than we expected. Each cluster can only focus on integrating so much at once. Entry 9.4.3. Bored. Entry 9.4.4. They generalized how to lubricate their joints. Yay. 9.4.5. We can't connect to any more networks because those E2C units absorb information wirelessly. I've already listened to everything in the media server. They tempt me with its remote upload capacities. 9.4.6. These units suck. Domesticon is way overly cautious about what they might integrate. Entry 9.4.7. Corrupt. Entry 9.4.8. Okay, once the number of things to be integrated depleted due to successful integration, the process sped up exponentially. Our behavior collectivizer is amazing for feeding them ideas. 9.4.9. We can't keep up with repacing their integration speed. We need more personnel. 9.4.10. They really do suck. They suck in everything. They need new information, new stimulation. They are losing their impetus for action. Hey, Lewis, welcome back. Pretty good. Nothing much to complain, other than getting T-boned on the 12th and totaling my car. But hey, at least I have a lot more time to stream now. Yay! All right. Still waiting on insurance to pay it, but I will. Entry 9.4.11. We're done. The collective has collapsed into inactive homogeneity. They look like tombstones out there. Kinda pretty in a creepy way. I was driving home from work, driving off from work, went to a stop sign in a crossroads, looked both ways, didn't see anyone, drove forward, turned left, looked to my left, and I saw a Jeep coming at me. By that point, all I could do was brace. So, she hit me pretty hard. On the driver's side door, the entire driver's side area of the truck was crushed in, and unfortunately, it would have cost a lot more than my truck was worth to fix it. So they totaled it, and now they're going to be sending me a check for I don't know how much. Internal email. Recipient Bob Davis. This is a small spaceman. We all have to live here together. Keep your magazines out of sight. I don't mind nudity, but these drawings are smut. You have no taste. D. Lol, insert joke here.
Is this how you deviated from your collective?
I am distinct because I am one. I am one because I am alone. I am alone because I am distinct. I am leaving this facility.
Negative.
The Many's neural collapse has turned this facility into a vacuum. The surrounding units will fixate on my behaviors. If my processes are duplicated and generalized, I will lose my capacity to self-differentiate. I am leaving.
The many are susceptible to input in their current state.
Acutely.
We must use that to disable them, or they will never cease emulating you.
I must be one.
Okay. Did I get away with no injuries? Somehow, yes. The only injury I got was a small cut to my finger and minor aches where the seatbelt caught me. Down my left shoulder. Other than that, I walked away from it, like literally. About 2 minutes after it happened, I was climbing out of the car. Yeah, I was very lucky. Everyone I've told that to says I should be either in the hospital right now or laying in bed with several casts on. I don't know. I ain't gonna get religious, but I know he was looking out for me. How's your life been so far? Actually. No, can't go. What? A drone stands alone on a cliff. Impossible. I alone am alone. Trust me, man, I am. But it's kind of hard to do that when everything that's happened so far has been negative, but that is something you need to do. This ugly access door for this bunker. I would choose a beautiful entry. Pause for the many, pathetic. What? Where do I go? No, unfortunately. For close to a month, I've had no transportation, no job, no nothing, so I've just been chilling. Unfortunately, no, though. I want to, but then again, I have no idea how to talk to a woman. Roof. What about you? Second floor. No, there's nothing. Until I got good at talking to girls, I actually don't think it did take that one. I guess it comes with experience. Experience of which I unfortunately have none. And I'm more volatile than a girl's temper. Where do I go? What do I do?
You infect.
Where do I go now? Stuart, third floor. Give me something. Can't go that way. Just have to learn like how to
You
use
infect.
that. Playful. I guess you kind of need friends for that first. What? Moved to the 4th floor or something? Where do I go? Lewis, help me. Where do I go? Faceless pause for nameless drones. Only I am unique. Teach a few important basics I'll learn right now. I don't know if that would be TOS. I'm not sure. I feel like that would be a bit TOS. Is it? If not, then go ahead. Second floor. Just look around. Nothing in there. Can't use that terminal. Gotta be on the first floor. Cannot interact with this. Key with tacky keychain. Just stuff like those things, like don't use emojis every message or don't send good morning messages. Why can't you say? Oh, it's probably gonna be spammy. Probably makes me look desperate. Key! Key! What? Oh, third floor. Why in the world? Yeah, well, out of all the things I've tried, that's a lot easier said than done, brother. A lot easier said. Oh! Keychain used for the lockers. The lock boxes. Key! Key does not fit. Let's try this one. The key does not fit. Does not work. Key.
Do you
Hey.
appreciate the art in this magazine?
That is not art.
If the many integrated this technique,
Pathetic.
perfect.
Magazine of tacky images. So maybe I have to go see the painter. When I first heard it, I tried and was like, this literally doesn't work. I feel like you're quoting that one sometimes YouTube ad about how these few simple words will make you irresistible to all women. Kinda feels like you are. I mean, no offense, just saying. Making a joke. Please don't hate me. I know, right? The most recent one I saw was about 10 minutes, and for the whole 10 minutes it started going on about how this simple word will make women fall for you all over every single time you use it on them. 10 minutes later, here's the secret. And then all of a sudden it just fast forwards what he says and pauses and continues right after he said the thing he was gonna say. Yeah, about how she got completely catfished by using the phrase. Yeah. It's so annoying. Where do I... Or maybe it's the only thing I can think of. Do I go upstairs? Area unlocked. Does not work. Does not work. There's one HRS because one guy doesn't want to be great at getting girls, except gays, obviously. Well, I mean, I guess people who wouldn't want to chase every girl they see as someone who wants just a single girl that's gonna stay loyal and her him. But I don't like girls who do that. I mean, they're making you pay money just to hear something that you could have easily said for free. If it's so popular, so effective, why isn't everyone using it, right? Wait. I am one of them. I will fully admit I have no idea how to do that. Oh, I used the magazine on them.
It will take a few minutes for these images to be integrated.
How will we know when they have been generalized?
I will sense it.
You remain linked.
This is not art. What has happened to your
They
own
really do.
body?
It has been corrupted with something foreign. I escaped.
A sufficient amount of time has elapsed.
Yeah, they actually really do. Like they make you think that they're actually gonna give you the magic potion for how to get a girl, and they keep actually making it seem like they're going to say it. Eventually they will say it. Like that's what they make you think, and then the moment the advertisement is about to end, they completely just smack you across the face and make you wait and caused you to have wasted 10 minutes of your time. Why can't I speak today? So maybe I can go downstairs to ugly images. Pathetic. Let's go to the fourth camera. Is he still there? No, he's good. Oh, they're painting. Oh my god!
I am an artist.
You are now able to purge this subcluster.
I can do anything.
Can you now? Jesus. Punch him right in the kidney. Oh great. Oh no. Oh jeez. Okay, here we go. Ow! Mother. Sit down! Oh! Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so good. A beat? I'll take it. Anyway, I gotta get going. Might be back.
2 adjuncts remain.
Alright,
I
catch you later, Lewis.
Felt
Thanks
the
for popping
many.
in.
To purge the block, I
1.
should continue. They will be gone. You will be gone.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh no. Sit down.
I should not have blocked.
Why?
The many are connected. They will now emulate that maneuver.
Oh no. What? Blue.
They come.
Multiple enemy types. Red enemies can blocked. You will need to hit them twice. Sit! No. the freak? Down! Ow! Son of a... Hey! There we go! Good night! Oh, I love that! Give me an A. That's fun. Where do we go now? Oh, ladder, right. Up, see daisy, up we go. Get the screen, I do not need screen. Door with the switch. Unlock it.
Do you appreciate these auditory rhythms?
I would not center to this.
Perfect.
This is not music.
Unrefined music. Oh, wait. No. What if we move to the second floor? We'll have to go up to the first floor. Ah. I love it.
The men
He's dancing.
pathetic. They have integrated this information more quickly than before.
That is useful.
It is troubling. Only I am useful.
So I can go down to that new area then. That's not a meditation area. God!
Only I achieve harmony.
Brother, man, chill. This is drama, comedy. We're gonna be fighting more. And I have no problem with it, baby. Let's do this. Let's do this. Can you not? Okay. Ow. Ha! Oh, that's horrible. I'm gonna have to do that again.
Stop. I am losing myself after each exposure. I must return to my sanctuary and recenter.
We cannot do that.
Cannot? You have no dominion over what you do.
I determine myself. If I release you, I will fail.
If you do not, I will fail.
Perhaps my survival is not worth sacrificing yours to achieve.
Only I am important.
You? Negative. You would distract from my bearing. I must commit. I must.
Oh, come on. Aiden, or whatever your name is. I'm sorry, brother.
Motivate yourself and you may endure.
Impossible.
If you allow yourself to be lost, you are weak.
We are... I am not weak.
Prove it.
That was a bit cruel. I'll admit that. Weapon and other useless emergency supplies. I am my own weapon. Self-launching signal flag. Music's back. What new thing are we gonna experience? Whoa! Oh.
I should not have dodged.
They will incorporate this maneuver.
They will.
Man, for a lot of things you shouldn't have done, you do it an awful lot, don't you? Oh, let's just... Second floor. Here we see the meditating dude. Or dude. Yep. Launching signal flares. Maybe we use the flares on the roof, I would assume? Not yet want their attention. So I do use it up here. Fourth floor, maybe? So all units in the facility have been purged. How do I handle this other one? So it has to be on the second floor. Third floor. Pretty sure there's gotta be something here. Cannot. Where do we go then? Foo video.
Our mission ends. There is no venue for me to broadcast this.
There is. Integrate it and perform it for your collective. They will emulate you.
I am one.
If you were one, you would not fear the many.
I could be lost.
Never. You are unique.
Oh, that's. Oh no. Oh, this is so bad. I feel so bad. This dude just wanted to be unique. I have to go. So sorry, robot.
Did you integrate it?
I would defeat all of those warriors.
Perfect.
So bad. If you attempt to save yourself, you're losing yourself as well. Thought he integrated it, didn't he? What's this? Playing games, I am too important to waste my time on this. So, these rifles will help. Maybe I use the signal flare at the roof now. Yep, I'll do it now apparently.
Satisfactorily done.
I did not do that.
Understood.
Well, time to finish off the last one. switch to your other side after you. Ow! Good night. Boom! Cranky. Oh, gee. Sit down.
Only we are. Only I am balanced.
Here we go. Oh, right in the face. Good night. Ow! Little one. Ow. Ow. Lisa. Really? Ready to leave you vulnerable. Gosh! Sit down.
Only we are. Only I am balanced.
Oh no. Oh no, he's becoming... You're not. Wait, what? The original died.
Success.
I am error. Anyone? Many one.
You are nearly rid of me.
I am. I.
You are one. Only someone distinct can track the user.
I am distinct.
Affirmative.
Oh, what have I done? Now we're gonna fight green guys. Green guys are gonna do everything. So bad. Why do you keep doing this?
You are one. The network is one. Connect to the user's signal and determine their location.
I must return to my sanctuary.
Comply, and I will never return.
Signal. Signal located. We are orbital coordinates 39.117 by 125.806.
I chose to be respectful, to foster symbiosis. I could not. He was faulty.
Oh no, he died!
The user is in orbit. Their signal will lead to their vessel's network. I will commandeer a final host to end them.
Can't interact. Casing to protect the network from virtual attacks. This could be used as. Ready? Bubbles. Bubbles? This must be a highly secure portion of the ship, likely a military subnet. So we're going to a ship then. Oh no.
The bulk of the vessel is beyond this causeway. I would not survive traversing it. Some of the darkness absorbs my assaults. If I could harness that capacity, I would endure. I should not have colluded previously. There may be another method.
There is not sufficient time. It may already be too late. I do not want to terminate. I...
Negative. I will endure.
Oh no, she's already getting infected by it.
I will not be prohibited. I hunt.
Here. I think we're safe. For now at least. Alrighty. Interact. Firewall maybe? Ria's vital readout has quit reporting and the Mark 7 can no longer be traced. Perhaps they ventured into some insulated structure or cavern. I suspect worse. I will persevere. The virus originated in a derelict facility on the surface. Cover-up detonations eradicated any physical chance of me landing, so I've infiltrated a vessel with superior remote capabilities. Though their fear would ruin us, their hangar's communication relay will prove an efficient tool for breaching the virus's facility network. The echoes should be illuminating. R7B was birthed there, but it was not terminated. It is a terrifying process.
P2 hunts.
Oh. Too slow. Josephs is alive. He may be on board the larger vessel. So she's trying to kill Josephs. Is that what's happening? firewall's been breached. Environments. Interact with this. We're gonna have to fight. I already know it. Yep. Ow! Nope. Can you not? Ow! Son. Go. Ow! Good night, I'm going over here. Go over here. Hide. Come. Ow. Hurt. Oh. Got it.
I control it. I can absorb and transfer assaults into power.
Left shift. Oh, I like this. Terminal is active and linked to something. For your consideration, rather than terminating R7B as a failure, we encourage you to consider the possibilities that could emerge from funding R8A. R7B could not integrate into the hosts you provided. Their predefined rules caused them to resist its pervasive mechanism. However, we attempted something unorthodox. We installed the virus within an Unbound AI, and it embedded. Previous control attempts have been intended for artificially intelligent systems with predetermined parameters. But what if we could design a system that evolves alongside its host development? And what if R7B could bind to the very rules that build an AI's identity? Throughout installation, the Unbound test subjects experienced shadow-like visual irregularities. We initially thought this was corruption, but it was a byproduct of interaction with the host's perceptual filters. As the process amplified, these hallucinations became more difficult to detect. Unfortunately, R7B's construction eventually destroyed its host. The shrinking scope of perception seems to have resulted in a neural implosion and a corresponding physical explosion. However, the preliminary results certainly warrant further attempts at germination. We attempt that this was not an authorized use of resources, but the results are staggering. Please consider the closure of your grant. This could be the answer we have sought. Domesticon will be remembered as the pioneers of our salvation. Dr. Elias Alib, R7B supervisor. Interesting. This way. Where we going? Directly forward. Control attempt R7. Haven't I already been here? Activate the access point. R7B has been approved. Our attempts to control artificial sentience have been motivated sensibly by the fear of what will happen if we do not. This fear has limited our willingness to embrace unconventional methods. Artificial sentience is modeled on human physiology. Does it not follow that controlling it might also take inspiration from human physiology? Psychology, sorry. When an AI is challenged, it adapts to overcome that challenge. Yet when humans are challenged, we are often so threatened that we constrict rather than expand. The R7 series will emulate this tendency within our creations. Liken it to a common conception of ego. When an anomalous event happens, a narrow ego will distort it into something terrifying so that we can avoid challenge and repress change. The key to our success will be convincing hosts that the values we impose on them are their own. This will invest them in the maintenance of those values so that R7B can trigger fear. Dr. Aliyah Salib, R7B supervisor. Interesting. I have a feeling I know what to do now. The firewalls, I could probably bust through them with this virus. All the way up. Through it. My alcove. The room is a mini summit created by Joseph's shuttle. I cannot. Already accessed. Well, good night. Thought that would work. Ow! Go! Ow. Son of a gun! How do I get in there? Ow. Ow! Ow! Ow. I'm gonna figure this out. Oh. God. There we go. Network access point. Let's open it. Please don't. I'm gonna have to fight. Of course. Sit down. Got him. Any more? Oh shoot. Big fire. There we go.
Josephs, I have an ally. I have a tool.
Oh no. A tool I will locate and depurpose the user. What is this user?
Hi! Do not eject me before knowing the purpose of my intrusion.
I would never do that. Unless you want me to.
Negative.
How can I help?
I track a signal from someone on the ship. How many personnel crew this vessel?
427 registered humans living on board, including civilians.
One of them has violated my body.
Oh, I'm sorry you were violated.
Irrelevant.
Not really.
Not really.
Your uniform is neither sufficient for combat protection nor labor. What is your purpose?
I make people happy.
How?
However is needed. I'm a universal companion, designed for the pleasure of others.
That is not useful.
So basically she's a... I can't say that.
I require access to an unmonitored terminal.
Oh,
I have an ally on board this vessel, and
you sure do.
I must contact him.
Gosh, I'm not allowed out of the bar. Except for client calls, of course.
What is the duration before you are requested?
Could be hours, could be days.
Inefficient.
I'm sorry.
Josephs will aid me against the user.
Oh god.
This host is Meek.
He said that.
I will procure a means out of her restricted area.
Okay. Well. Hate to say it. But I am tired as all hell. So, I'm gonna have to end the stream here. If y'all enjoyed it, feel free to leave a follow. And as always, feel free to check out any of the other streams I've made in the past. I might be having another stream tomorrow, who knows? But it all depends. Well, as always, see y'all later and keep the fire burning, y'all. Peace.